There are famously not very many Jedi in the Star Wars original trilogy, obviously due to the effects of the Empire actively hunting the Jedi, ensuring that the light side order not be allowed to covet power and again start a resurgence. This was also in fact due to the dreaded Order 66, and the Jedi being mowed down and betrayed by the thousands of clone troopers they fought besides and who then actively hunted them. This is the major point of the Star Wars original trilogy, the ultimate return of the Jedi, so obviously it's important that the Jedi not be a dominant presence in the galaxy. Following Order 66, the Empire obviously took immediate measures just after the order was given, as it became Darth Vader's #1 priority to destroy and locate all of the remaining Jedi, as if even one Jedi were to escape, the implications that they could train a new generation to rise up and oppose the Empire were huge, and the potential for this was even larger. Having the Jedi be largely absent from the original trilogy was very important for the overall story and growth of characters like Luke and even his own Jedi masters like Yoda and Obi-Wan, as the lesson and reality that they all came to is that the Jedi needed to change. Perhaps it is the fact that the Jedi hold so staunchly to the light side of the Force and abandon those that fall to the dark side that the Order collapsed in the first place, and it took much more brash but ultimately beneficial viewpoints such as Luke Skywalker's to help change the minds of these aged Jedi that had failed in the generations prior to his own. George Lucas himself actually commented about this recently in an interview, giving his viewpoint, which I absolutely love hearing, as George Lucas revealed exactly why all of the Jedi went extinct during the era of the original trilogy, and how the Jedi had fallen to the point where Luke only seems to find two prominent teachers left of the old religion. This takes it a step further, as George Lucas talks about the story implications of why he did not want the Jedi around in the original trilogy rather than exactly what happened to them, in a sense explaining not how the Jedi went extinct, but why they went extinct. George Lucas comments about the Jedi and their state in the original trilogy. He doesn't actually talk about how effective the Empire was at hunting them down, or how tragic the betrayal of the clone troopers was. Rather, George Lucas talks about how the Jedi gave up on themselves following the end of the Clone Wars, and perceived their entire body of work and entire order as a failure, with Lucas pointing this to being the main reason why the Jedi are almost extinct and show very little signs in the original trilogy, not the fact that they were hunted and nearly exterminated by the clone troopers and Vader, but the fact that they literally gave up on themselves. This is what Dave Filoni had to say. It also spoke to something that I discussed with George over the years as far as the aftermath of the Clone Wars. The reason why we never saw too many Jedi fights against the Empire is the fact that a lot of them felt that they failed their goal to protect the Republic, and they were all ultimately deceived. The fact that the Jedi failed in this addition to the Star Wars universe is far more tragic in a way than nearly all of the Jedi being wiped out. Instead of just extinguishing their lives, Sidious and Vader managed to destroy the entire perception of the Jedi. The reason the Jedi don't fight back so staunchly against the Empire is because they were proven incorrect, and philosophically and fundamentally flawed, even among themselves, and I'm sure a lot of the self-reflection that the Jedi that did survive Order 66 went through was not a good experience. In the end, the Jedi largely gave up on themselves. They were defeated, but not by some unknown enemy, but rather from within, as the Jedi slowly realized the calamity of the mistakes and missteps they took over the course of the Clone Wars, and how they all utterly lost sight of what a true Jedi was meant to be. This is the ultimate failing of the Jedi, and this is what George was going for. I also found this viewpoint very intriguing and massively tragic, and again, the idea that Palpatine was able to crush the very soul and ideals of a Jedi. This explanation from Lucas is eye-opening and amazing, as it shows just how layered the state of the galaxy was and how important the failure of the Jedi was for the following generations. But what are your thoughts on this, and what are your thoughts on why the Jedi ultimately failed, and why they went extinct so quickly following Order 66, and why so few of them rose up against the Empire and the Sith? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you,